going on with the Raw Review Gangs, boy Raw Reviews. Today, we're probably going to be talking about one of GM's more weirder car setups, um, the early 2000s LS4 platforms. So, in this video, we're going to go over the models that it was in and essentially the demise and what made it kind of just fail. So, we're going to get into it. So, a bit of a backstory. The 5.3 liter LS4 was found in a plethora of different cars, and it was a front wheel drive setup for most of these cars. Front wheel drive. Uh, I mean, a lot of people didn't really gravitate towards it just because of that factor alone. But at the end of it, a lot of people actually liked these cars. But there was a big issue. First, I'm going to go over the cars, and then we'll talk about what the issue was. So, starting off with number one, the 2006 through 2008, I want to say, Chevrolet Impala SS. This car in particular had, again, the 5.3. So, all of these cars have it. So, 5.3 liter front wheel drive. And it was okay. It was a cool car. A lot of people back then, they kind of really liked that car because the Impala was already, synonymous to being a great car to just have and drive around. Great grocery getter. One of those cars that it was a great daily driver. So for the GM to go and put a V8 into it, because all of the other ones had V6s, so this was the only one with a V8. So for GM to say, all right, we're going to go and put a V8 in this car, well, it became a hit. And that car kind of spearheaded a lot of the things that was to come, because a lot of these cars probably wouldn't have seen the light of day without the Impala. So we're going to go on to the next car. Is the same, but it's different. And that is the 2006 to 2008 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. Now, personal favorite of mine. To this day, I still wish I could get one, because man, it's a beautiful looking car. It's hit or miss for a lot of people. But again, that setup just drives a lot of people crazy. And it's very, as you would think, it's GM, so you wouldn't think it would be high maintenance, but it's a very high maintenance setup, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a great looking car, man. And like I said, I personally wish I could get my hands on one. But all in all, it was the coupe, so it was a two-door. It had more stylistic cues than the Impala. Now it did share the Impala front end, but that's kind of where the similarities ended, besides the drivetrain of the car. Because from then on, it was more, the interior actually did share the same. But, the body, of course, was different because it was a two-door versus a four-door. So it was a nice car. It was a nice looking car. And then with the V8, it just made it sound even better, because again, it's just like the Impala, all the rest were V6s. So now this one, I don't really know too much about. I haven't actually seen them, if I'm honest, because I feel like this is probably more the rare version of the 5.3 setups that I know of, and that is, I want to say it's the same year model, so about 2006 to 2008 Buick LaCrosse Super. That car it was the fastest Buick back then. So, I mean, that should say a lot. The 5.3 definitely boosted its image to more than just a luxury brand car, right? Buick was known as the American luxury brand besides Cadillac. So, a lot of these cars that they made didn't, they weren't fast. They weren't known for being fast either. Now some did have V8s, but they weren't powerful, sporty V8s. They were just kind of, again, city driving around, grocery getter kind of cars. But the Super definitely took that whole image and shifted it. It made it a completely different car. It was not even the same Buick LaCrosse that people knew of with the V6s. So if I ever had the chance to see one, now I will review one because man, I would love to. Oh man, you don't understand any of these cars. Honestly, I don't mind reviewing, but in due time. But on to the next one. Last but not least, uh, I know I said the Monte Carlo was my favorite, and it is. But this one just kind of takes it, and I guess because I had a variation of the car. Um, but 2006 through 2008 Pontiac Grand Prix GXP. There's not even much I can really say about this car. Honestly, when I picked up my car, I wish it was that car. Um, Even with all the troubles, even with all the maintenance that I've seen other people go through, like in real life, I've seen these people experience these issues. It doesn't even equate to just when the car is running great. It's that perfect moment, you know. It's like, man, I wish I could just experience it. But again, it was a downfall. It was a car that it was plagued with issues kind of from the jump because that whole setup just wasn't meant to be. This was GM's way of trying to experiment and get out of a hole that they were in before the 2000 era. So this was their way of saying, "Hey, let's try something different and see if it works out." Um, but now we're going to transition into the demise and what made these cars just trash, man. They trash cars to own. Now, a lot of people, you know, that experience these cars will tell you that, oh, it's engine failure. So most of them have to get engines rebuilt and things like that. I've got a personal friend of mine who had to rebuild theirs. And that's slightly true, but only because most of these people kind of push their cars, and that that car wasn't really made to be pushed that hard. But the main culprit, transmission. The transmissions in those cars were like glass, man. Like when I say fragile, literally the most fragile thing ever. Is to be and it was because of the fact of the motor. The motor was too powerful to even remotely have that much power going to it. It couldn't do it. It couldn't do it. So the inevitable happened. And when that happens, you know, you don't have a car anymore at that point. So what do? You know, you have to do what most people do, and they rebuilt and went about it that way. And yeah, like I said, just from the get go, if I was ever able to own one, I would in a heartbeat. Just for the sheer uh just cool level, man. Them cars were cool. Like now, if you even see one, you just like, man, that's a cool car. And I feel like we all have cars that we see, you know, even just growing up, seeing these cars, you know, we have cars we see and we're just like, man, I wish I could have one. That was kind of this car for me. Uh, the Impala was cool, not my cup of tea. The Monte Carlo was the one that really kind of got me into the LS4 platform that I wanted one. Like I said, the Buick LaCrosse Super, didn't really see those. Not really my cup of tea anyway. It just didn't. The car didn't look right to me. And then of course the GXP Grand Prix, which you know, and honestly, I would love to pick up one now. So, but it's just another quick video, man. I'm just trying to get back into the swing of being able to upload for you guys and be able to just bring my passion to you all. I love doing this, and I hope I can just keep doing it because honestly, it's a very, very good way to be able to kind of just gain a community and build a community with you all and be able to talk about different things like that, Uh, and it don't always have to be car related, but most of my content most likely will be car related. So unless I switch it up, but I think I will ask you all first before I switch it up. So, but yeah, this been your boy Raw Reviews. I'm gonna check you in next time on the next video, and I'll holler at y'all. Peace.